The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 11th day of October, 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with the Michaela Ian, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Chaos, how was the weekend, sister?
Just before I go into that, did you say the 11th? I think you said the 11th.
It's 11th, folks. Don't worry about me.
My weekend was good. It was what did I do? It was relaxing. Yesterday was a little hectic. You know, Sundays I set for washing the clothes, folding the clothes, changing the sheets, cooking, like all that kind of stuff, getting the kids ready for school. But it was really, really good. Very, very chill.
Yeah.
I like a chill Saturday. Went into town on Saturday. Had some great wine.
Did you shop in town one Saturday? I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
I did. Oh, you know what I did on Friday night? I went to like an entrepreneurial women's like happy hour type thing on Zoom. And it was so much fun. Like we had a live DJ and there's like women entrepreneurs from, it's mainly the US and Canada. And it was just a vibe. And like the DJ understands the assignment every time, because every time I'm in there, he plays soca.
Oh, right.
And he understood the assignment. Okay.
Are you the only soca lover in this?
No, there are a couple others, but they're more like first generation American Caribbean people. And so like, I'm like the only true island girl, true as in born and bred and raised. And so listen, he understands it every time.
All right. Well,
yes.
She sounded like she had a good weekend.
It was good. Yes. How was yours? I saw some photos.
My weekend ended kind of late. Like you probably received an email like 1 a.m. this morning.
Yes.
So that means no, folks. I am extremely tired. The bags are probably under my eyes. The shower did not work about half an hour ago. But
Lord.
If anyone knows me, I love a live band.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's been a pandemic, and so haven't been really able to get out to live bands. So I went to my first concert in probably 3 years last night, John Legend.
Oh, that's a good one to get back into it.
Oh yeah, it was a good time, folks. Like that John. He did his thing, man. And what's interesting is the crowd started leaving. Now it didn't end to like we're talking 10:50 up, like 11 o'clock. That's midnight Bermuda time. And so the crowd started leaving when he introduced everyone. You know how at the end they introduced the band and everything. Leaving. I'm like, this guy hasn't sang all of me. Like, where you all going? Like, come on now. And anyway, he finally did it, man. It was so good to be in a space where everyone's singing along, good R&B music, and like just a loving atmosphere. It was a good time.
I miss that. And it's funny because, of course, it's Miami Carnival and there's a lot of Bermudians. And one of my friends is there. And the videos of Kes, so everybody knows I'm a soca girl. Mashal is my favorite, but Kes is like, this is Mashal, this is Kes, right? They're like neck and neck. And the videos of Kes the band, and I'm just sitting there like,
if only, yeah. Speaking of Miami Carnival, I'm not going to put his name out there, but a certain DJ was supposed to rock with us last night. Because this is my last week at my job. We had a group, 10 of us last night. We went, John Legend did a thing. It was VIP. Like, we were on levels. You know what I'm saying? If I was still drinking and getting crunk, it would have been that.
It would have been, you wouldn't have been here today. It would have been Phil one today.
No, I had my water bottles just putting me down. But anyway, shucks, enough about my weekend, folks. I don't want to make too many of you jealous. I'm sorry. But John Legend, if you've never seen him in concert, folks, go check him out. He was amazing last night or this morning, depending on where you are in the world. But John Legend, my word, awesome show, awesome artist. And let me say this, R&B is not dead. All right?
Yeah. I don't love R&B like that, but John Legend just does it. I love John Legend. I remember his very, very first song when that came out, and I was like, who is this person?
He's a bad man, boy.
Yes.
But good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one to begin the week as we discuss solutions to Bermuda's retail woes. The daily play is a Who Said It. So Michaela is going to be guessing the author of a famous quote. She had a rocky one last week, but she ended it on a high, folks. She ended it on a high.
Sure did.
And we expect her to get rolling again. But look, let's just get right into it. I know you want to hear more about soca and R&B and our weekends and all that. We want to hear about yours as well. But we have some important things to discuss on the show, and we're going to just get straight to it. I'm sure Leanna's going to give us some more. What are your thoughts on Minister Wayne Furbett's comments? That's where we're going this morning. The Minister of Cabinet, I'm sorry. The Minister of Cabinet.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. Or as the Royal Gazette puts, the Cabinet Minister Officer. I'm saying officer. Minister.
The Cabinet Office Minister.
Yes, the Cabinet Office Minister. Oh, it sounds so strange. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Admitted his wife was a fan of online shopping and insisted that every Bermudian is doing it. Well, Minister Furbett didn't make many friends in the public this weekend with statements that were printed. It was a divided response, as expected.
Can I interject quickly? Because I just want to add this little bit of context. He wasn't just saying that most Bermudians shop online and his wife shops online. What he said that I think was kind of the stinger is he said that online shopping at overseas stores was a better value for money and offered a wider choice. And then he went in to defend government's decision to setting up this online shopping thing with US-based company My US Shopping.
Correct.
So it was a little more.
And I'm glad, folks, because my next thing was Kales. Can you just please share with the audience for those who don't know? But this is what we do, folks. Is what we do. Yeah. So that said, with the context now, we want to know from the audience. What are your thoughts on Minister Wayne Furbett's comments? Do you agree with him? Do you take issue? And folks, during the Daily Focus, we'll be asking the audience another question. What's the solution to Bermuda's retail woes? So we'll get to that later. But right now, we're specifically talking about Minister Wayne Furbett's comments regarding Bermuda's retail sector. Basically, the government of Bermuda is teaming up. Is it with My US? What's it? My
called? US. It's a shipping company. But also, let's point out the fact that government, i.e. Wayne Furbett, admitted that government did not put out an RFP and did not approach local shipping companies such as Zipex or mailboxes.
All right. And we'll probably get to that as well in the second half of this show, folks. So what are your thoughts on Minister Wayne Furbett's comments? We want to hear from the audience. What do you all think? Well, Chica Trot says, sigh.
Thanks for kicking it off on the right tone, Chica.
That is so much right there. Look, sigh. If you all communicate with Michaela often, you would know that's her.
But it's big sigh.
Yeah, big sigh. That's right there. So what are your thoughts, Kills, on Minister Furbett's comments?
Honestly, this really frustrated me. And the reason that it frustrated me is because pre-pandemic, I want to say probably Actually, no, probably like November 2019 is when I started being really intentional about shopping locally. And the reason that I decided to be really intentional is because Danielle Painter has this thing called the NAB app where she shows all the incredible offerings that are available locally. And once she started doing this, I felt like I have no excuse. There are shops here who are selling things at US retail prices. I have no excuse. So probably December 2019, I actually started shopping more locally. And then ahead of the pandemic, I did the same. And so for me, my first thought used to be, oh, I need a pair of jeans. Let me go onto the Gap and order them. Now, my first thought is, let me run into town because there's 2 stores, I'm not going to name them, 2 stores that I go to specifically when I need things. If I cannot find them there, then I will order online. So I just feel like it's hard for retailers already. It's very difficult for retailers. But now you're slamming retailers. That's the thing for me. Like, it's very frustrating as a Bermudian consumer. Like, I want to be able to spend my money locally. I want to be able to circulate my money. I prefer to say circulate because I believe that when I spend $1, it goes around, comes back to me, right? Because I'm spending in my local economy. And so it's very frustrating because for years it's been buy Bermuda, buy Bermuda, buy Bermuda. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, there's nothing of value in Bermuda. Let me shop online just in case somebody might have that dress I'm wearing. What? Like, well, I know that might have been a sentiment.
I feel like we're getting ahead, Kills. I want to bring it back to Ian Ferber in particular. I don't want to go into the second part of this show, but on him in particular as a government minister making that comment.
I just thought the comments were very tone deaf. I felt like he did not read the room. And honestly, I might get in trouble for saying this, but I think a little PR/media training was needed in this instance. I'm just saying it was needed because these sort of comments could have been said in a different way where they were not offensive to the retail community. And that's what happens when you have media training. Just saying.
I know someone who could teach them a little something. I ain't gonna call their names. Natalie Sheen says, Sam Cat Play says, morning, he does have a point. However, Bermuda is another world, and the red tape that most local companies have to go through is something that government needs to address. And that's something we'll talk about in the second part of the show, folks. We'll get into that right there. Terry K said they did note they sent out an RFI back in 2018 for partners, which didn't give any comfort, only added fuel to the fire for me. Through Nicole Walker Hills.
Yeah. Painful truth. Retail is in trouble. Local shops need to be creative and the government needs to give concessions. A lot of retailers are being creative. That's the thing. Will the post office be given preference for customs clearance? He ain't lying. Everybody does shop online, but I still don't agree with what government is doing. More focus should be on helping local retailers. Yeah, that's the thing. He's not lying. People do shop online. I do shop online. I'm not sitting here saying I don't shop online because I do, but I only shop online if I cannot get what I need in Bermuda. Like specific brands.
I think all of us, if we're being honest, Michaela, every last person tuned into this show right now will admit that there's truth in what the minister said. The problem with that truth that a lot of people have is, but you are a government minister. Your government plays a role as to why we face some of these challenges, again, which we'll discuss on the other part of the show. So I don't think it's a matter of whether or not the minister was telling the truth or not. I think it's a matter of if you're going to share that truth, you need to share, as Michaela loves to do, the entire context, share the whole story, the bigger picture as to why we're in this position.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. It's not untrue that people are shopping online. Of course people are shopping online, you know what I mean? But like, for instance, I used to use a skincare brand during last year when it was difficult to get things in for months. I decided, you know what, let me go to a small business called Salt and Cedar. Let me see what they have. Went there, they have all their beauty and skincare is green, clean products. I was able to find a brand that worked well for my skin that cost less than the other brand I was using, plus the cost of bringing it in. So now what do? Even though everything's open back up, I still get my skincare from Salt and Cedar. It's easier. I spend less money.
I think we have economist Craig Simmons on, and I feel like he is the most popular person we continue to have on. Like the way people reach out and hit us up when he's coming on is like, it's crazy. I think he has the most fanfare of anyone that has been on this show. And that just says it's a testament to what people want to discuss and what people want to learn, which I'm happy about, right? But he's coming on tomorrow, and this must come up because you just said something that really triggers the other part of the conversation, Michaela. You didn't just, you said it this morning about when you spend in Bermuda or the economy, your money goes full circle. Folks, honestly, it's a scary thought to think that any government minister would necessarily promote spending outside of Bermuda's economy when Bermuda's in such need. So I say that because Sheikha Reyna says, sounds like his comments were a bit irresponsible. I put a bit in there, folks. You know what? Maybe that's the word that we should be saying. Like, I think it was irresponsible. Again, not necessarily not true, but probably a bit irresponsible because you want the money circulating in your local economy. If the more money that goes outside of your economy, let's be honest, that the duty isn't really going to make up for the amount of money you're losing.
Yeah, it was also this weird, like, I don't want to go as far as to say misogynistic because that might be a stretch, but women shop online because they don't want to wear what other women are wearing. Oh, but me and men, we just shop at English Sports Shop and we're fine. I thought that was a little like, maybe the intent wasn't to be misogynistic. I don't think the intent was, but the inference was a bit like, oh, so it's us women who we just don't want to wear a dress that someone else is wearing. So that's why we're shopping online.
Yeah, it's I definitely saw the English Sports Shop thing, but I feel like overall,
I don't know.
The comments came across as Bermuda's economy is bad. Let's make it worse by continuing to shop online. And that's the concern I have from it. I think Bermudians should be very concerned. And the majority of Bermuda, as was said, is shopping online. Because the more money that goes outside of the economy, the less money that circulates within it, right? I mean, it's simple. I'm no mathematician, folks, but and I'm not an economist. I'm going to leave that for Mr. Simmons tomorrow. But in a time when the government is looking for revenue, it's probably irresponsible for a government minister to come across. Again, I don't think he meant this. Let me just put it out there. I don't think he meant to come across the way he did. But I think the way he came across, it stinks of being irresponsible as to what your job and your role is. Let's go to some comments after you say what you got to say.
No, I was just going to say, like, we all talk about small businesses and how they've been suffering. And there's many small businesses that have been creative over the course of the pandemic. But instead of reaching out to small businesses, y'all just want to go on Amazon and order things. And it's like, Amazon's made how much money over the past 20 months? Like, come on. I mean, if you can get it from a small local business, do that.
I mean, I'm guilty. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, of course, I'm guilty too. I'm not sitting here trying to be like, I'm holier than thou. Of course not.
I'll say this much. I was telling Leanna, I'm going to share some of my business with you. I order potato chips off Amazon, folks. Like, I'm just,
Lord. Well, they do have a food side. They have a food side.
I mean, when I think about it, the convenience factor, and I don't know how Amazon works in Bermuda though. Like, does it like, is it convenience? Is it a convenience thing?
So it depends on what it is. If you have Prime, like if I order something today on Prime, it can arrive tomorrow to mailboxes, and then I could probably get it by Saturday.
Okay. Let's go back to the comments, Kills. We've got Terry and Michelle.
Minister Farbert's comments only told one side of the story, and the solution the government proposed doesn't seem to take the local economy into consideration. Yet another example of local markets not being supported by government. We always cannot get what we want, but where is the government support? And another slap in the face for Buy Bermuda. I agree wholeheartedly, Michelle. Circulating the Bermudian dollar should be our top priority. The fact that we went overseas for a shipping partner is wild. Absolutely. And the fact that they're like, 3 years ago, we tried it. Okay, 3 years ago was 3 years ago.
Charlotte Fox says, I have never shopped online.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Congratulations. I did not think I knew someone who had never done it, but congrats.
Wow.
Trot says the government wants to provide a service for us to purchase overseas, but then we are asked to invest our pensions or other investments locally. Interesting. Sam Cat Play says what's even worse about the comments is that he is a small business owner himself, so he's slapping his own in the face. Michelle White and Dijon.
I don't like shopping online. I need to try clothes on before buying. I want local retailers to be able to buy more of a variety to fit me, but they likely are only to bring in clothes that fit the average person. Yeah, I mean, retail's hard in Bermuda. $70 million worth of commercial property listed for sale. And whoa, for sale or for rent, Dijon? Sale? Wow.
Well, Dijon,
that's wild.
Our economist is coming tomorrow, Dijon. Tomorrow, boy.
Well, this is the thing. People say when you walk in Washington Mall, there's so many empty spaces. And that's, I mean, I'm not surprised, but sure, let's just shop overseas instead.
Let's go through Sean Brown and talent before we bring Leanna in for the news break.
I think he and many politicians think the merchant class is taking in money, and forgot about small businesses. Government should have constructive conversations with retailers and entrepreneurs how to make business better. I don't think they care. Sorry, not sorry. I hope partnership doesn't cost us anything to end it if they choose to. Ooh, that's a good point.
Talent, that right there. Folks, let's bring Leanna in. Do not go anywhere. We're continuing this conversation in a different light when we come back. We're going to basically speak about the solutions to Bermuda's retail woes. And Minister Wayne Furbert and the government play a big part in the solution to it. It's all good blaming the consumer for going online or blaming the retailer, right, for not having what you consider value. But this goes deeper, folks. Let's bring Lee into the conversation. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Good morning. I am great. Happy Monday to both of you.
Yes. Look at us in our blue.
Look at us.
Yeah, they made me go get changed, folks.
Why are you like telling the trade secrets? Really?
No, I'm sorry. They're like, you better go put blue on or what? We'll kick you off the show. You should have seen them. They talk to man.
Gosh.
Leanna, you see what time it is here, right?
I do. And you know what? It's Monday. Not even worrying with it today.
We're not taking it to one.
Not at all.
Fine. One thing you all forgot to tell me, I'm about to go get me a necklace or something.
I was literally about to say you need a little something.
You guys have these fancy things going on, and I'm just like, what happened? Nobody told me. Did you buy them online?
This was a gift from Tunisia. This was not purchased online.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes. What do you want me to do?
All right, Lee. I mean, I'm going to get me one while you're doing the news break. But Lee, do you have an opinion per se on Minister Wayne Furbert's comments, or you just want to go to your news break?
You know what? The only thing I'm going to say is I agree with the word irresponsible comments. I'm going to say that. And I do agree with the fact that you're in positions of power. Can we just leave it there? You are in a position of power. Every time we talk about the problem, there is a solution. You guys can change legislation. You can amend laws. Stop acting like, you can't do anything about it. That's all I'm going to say.
Lee, that's the neutral one, folks. You heard her. Lee, over to you and the news break.
Thanks, Jamala, Michaela, and again, a happy Monday to all of those that are tuned in with us this morning. I hope everyone got some much needed rest this weekend and are ready for a new week ahead. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. In today's top stories, 3 public schools have reopened their classrooms and 18 others have crossed the COVID-19 screening threshold to return to in-person teaching. 21 of the island's 36 schools have received more than the 80% parental consent for saliva testing needed to reopen. Now, this means that these schools have either completed or are being scheduled for their pre-return testing. Gilbert Institute had been scheduled to reopen on Friday, but the date was pushed back until today so the school could receive additional cleaning. Port Royal Primary and West Pembroke Primary are also expected to reopen today. Meanwhile, Victor Scott Preschool, East End Primary, Purvis Primary, Prospect Primary, and Success Academy at Roberts Avenue have also crossed the threshold, with parents and staff on standby for a possible return next week. 10 other schools had crossed the 80% threshold. In other news, the retail sector hit back at Cabinet Officer Minister Wayne Furbert's comments that they failed to provide good value. Last night, the Chamber of Commerce questioned why the government had gone into partnership with a US-based firm to ship foreign-brought goods to the island and insisted the move would hurt Bermudian importers and retailers. Now, one island-based importer said that government's decision was quote-unquote disheartening. They were speaking after Wayne Furbert, the Cabinet Officer Minister, claimed last Friday that online shopping at overseas stores was better value for money and offered a wider choice. Now, a chamber spokesperson said, quote, Minister Wayne Furbert seems to have taken the "if you can't beat them, join them" attitude with this "every Bermudian is doing it" comment. They went on to say, instead of using their powers to even the tax playing field between local retailers and those who use courier companies, they choose not to. Meanwhile, 2 more COVID deaths from COVID-19 brought the pandemic death toll to 89. It was announced. Now, there were 46 new coronavirus cases out of 3,438 test results that came back to officials, a positivity rate of 1.3%, but the number of active cases continues to drop from 812 to 812 from the 860 announced on Wednesday. And Tyler Christopher made a blistering start to his professional boxing career this weekend, knocking his opponent through the ropes in the final round of a one-sided bout on Saturday night. Now, some might have seen the video of Christopher, who proved to be a real crowd pleaser at the H Suite in Birmingham, crowning a commanding display with a stunning left hook that sent opponent Josh Hutchins tumbling out of the ring. And Olympic gold medal winner Flora Duffy will return home today for the first time since her triumph at the Tokyo Games in July. The star athlete is expected to arrive to a hero's welcome when her flight from the U.S. touches down at the airport this afternoon. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 82 and a low near 76 degrees. Today, we'll see cloudy periods with showers at times. Pockets of unsettled weather are expected for much of the week ahead. Now, prime chances for wet spells are today and again from Tuesday night through much of Wednesday. That's all for our daily hour news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. But before we go, here's a little helpful tip from your favorite community pharmacist to kick off your week. So you should always have medicines for minor allergies on hand at home. For example, Benadryl Piriton Oral can be used for a runny nose, itching, sneezing, while topical medications such as hydrocortisone cream should be used for welts and itching. Now, talk to your trusted People's Pharmacist about what should always be in your medicine cabinet and your travel bag to avoid the rush to an ER. Now, let's head back to Jamal and Michaela in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All righty, Lee. Thanks so much for that news break there. Interesting times. Definitely, it seems continuous at this point and not something we want to do, but condolences to the families of the fallen from the latest COVID deaths. But Minister Furbert just had to make your news break, huh? So
just had to.
On that note, we're going to continue the conversation after this. So thank you for that, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow, God
You
willing.
see his necklace? That's why I was smiling at. And then I realized.
Let me pull that.
He put on a necklace, and I'm smiling at the necklace, and then I realized you're talking about COVID, and I'm like, oh crap!
Right,
I'm trying to smile at COVID.
I did step away for a quick minute, and I'm glad you noticed, because I was, a bit hurt that Leanna was prepared to go and just not say, "Oh, nice necklace."
I really was.
I noticed it instantly.
Yeah, we're all good. We're matching now, folks. Blue shirt, got all things around the neck. We good. Where I got this? You asked? Oh, not online. I didn't get online. It was a person, one of the people on the streets of New Orleans, the craft art people. Yeah, I just got it on the street. So no online
from a market. Yeah, this came from a market too.
Yes,
shopping locally.
A market.
Yeah, I did shop locally in New Orleans when I was there. Thank you so much, Lee.
You're welcome, guys. Have a good one.
Bye, Lee.
Michaela don't miss nothing, folks. Trust me, she got that right one. Do not go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Take a quick break. We're going to continue the conversation. That is, what are some of the solutions to Bermuda's retail woes?
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Soltis bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
Calling all young people passionate about our environment. Registration for the island's first Youth Climate Summit is now open. This event, taking place in November, is open to students ages 13 to 22, allows students to hear from and directly speak with local and global experts, leaders and activists in the fields of environmental conservation, sustainability, and climate justice. Your ideas and contribution are vital to bringing meaningful change. To secure your space, visit ycsbda.com.
All right, welcome back to the big show. She's Michaela Ian. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and friends over at People's Pharmacy. Hales, let's get right back to the conversation. Yes. It's been a hot one today, and folks, let's go through some comments before we ask the second question. Rick Olson and Terry.
We are not just failing locals. We also need to give tourists a reason to get off the ships and leave hotel properties so our economy can advance. Absolutely. That partly, they are literally the ones in office to be the change that will make this better for all involved. Yeah.
And Nikki Michelle, she says the government need media training. That level of honesty, is grossly irresponsible in a healthy economy. And in a recession and pandemic where Bermuda is barely head above water, it should be internally punishable and publicly clarified. Nicole Walker says he felt left out, poor sight, talking about me and my, folks, don't worry about that. Charles H. Jeffers II says the reality is that retail stores throughout the U.S. are struggling. Given the cost of doing business in Bermuda, I can only imagine how much harder it is. And that leads us right into our question, folks. We can discuss the issues we have with the minister's comments all day. We can discuss the problems that we have. But what we want to do is, amongst ourselves, what's the solution to Bermuda's retail woes? Like, what's the solution? Is it, Minister Furbert, if you're admitting that we have an issue in value, can we not speak to the cabinet and say, look, we need to address this. We need to find a way to reduce taxes on retailers so that they can have better options to keep money circulating and flowing in the economy. I don't know the answers. That's why it's a question out for all of us to give feedback and input on this. But what's the solution to Bermuda's retail woes? Is it for retailers to say, you know what, let's eliminate staff and basically everything will be self-checkout? What's the solution?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the issue here is that government, and I say government because Wayne Furbert represents the government. I think the issue is that the government's opinion is that retailers are not presenting value. That's wild. That's wild. So if you think that a certain sector is not giving value, then you're not going to do anything to help the sector that you feel is not valuable, right? So I think that while the answer lies above, because there are certain things that the government could do to make it easier for retailers. There's a lot of red tape. The cost of bringing things in from a customs point of view, duty is very expensive for certain goods. I remember Tamara said, like, bringing in chocolate. I can't remember what the duty was, but it was like very expensive in comparison to clothing, for instance. So when we look at that, I feel like there are things that government can do from a higher level, because that's why you're empowered to enact change, right? But when we talk about personal responsibility, I think that we should all be very intentional about shopping locally. You know?
Yeah, I think that's what confused me about the minister's comments. Like, you're encouraging people to make the situation worse. That's what it came across as. So, and I don't think that's necessarily a solution. The Chica Trust asking, should local retailers be given a lower duty rate in comparison to a citizen who ships items into Bermuda? At present, both are charged the same duty rate.
Yes.
I mean, I think most people would say, yeah, that's how you keep the economy flowing, right? But see, and the government would say, well, where are we going to make up that revenue?
If people are spending more money locally, it's like, come on, you know, I mean, like I said, while I think that government needs to do something at a higher level, we all can do things. We all can do our part. For instance, like, instead of ordering books on Amazon, what I do, I call Kristen White. I say, I need you to order these books for me. She'll go, yup, I order on the 20th every month. I'll holla when they're in. And she does this for me anytime I need books. I could order on Amazon. They could get here in a week, but I'd rather spend my money at a small business in Bermuda.
Here's the thing with ordering online. Like, okay, as far as retail, would people consider it closed? That's the biggest thing that they order online? Do we know? Because
I probably think it's clothes, shoes, jewelry.
Okay.
I mean, when we think of retail, we also think of like makeup, skincare. That's all retail too.
Electronics and stuff like that. Like, for instance, you know, I just understand how important it is for a local economy. I think the solution is within all of us. I know we want things at what we believe is a lower price. When I was working in Bermuda, selling advertising, for instance, right? I look at advertising not as a way to just have a commercial that's going to be catchy and people listen to it, but a way of convincing people to buy something that benefits them. You want to do this because it benefits you. Now, that dress may be $100 in Bermuda and $50 overseas, but that $100 in Bermuda is actually benefiting you more than saving that the thought of saving that $50. And I think from an educational perspective, I think that Bermudians as a whole, we need to understand the trickle-down effect of what this means when we go shop. It's dangerous. It's dangerous because even though you may not work in retail, it still impacts you.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of people don't realize a lot of the things that we buy, a lot of things that are, especially in like clothing and shoes, a lot of it is actually retail, US retail prices. A lot of it, you know what I mean? Like, I know Gibbons, for instance, when they sell the Gap, it's the same price as it is online, you know? Marks and Spencer, same thing. So for me, it's just like, let's all make an effort to see what is actually available, especially like your staples. You can get your staples here. Obviously, if you know you need a fancy dress for whatever and you can't find anything here, then you want to order online. That's different. But if your automatic thing is, let me just shop online and get this and whatever, it's not going to solve anything, especially if the government is just like, there's no value.
Tamara.
Ask yourselves what your country looks like without retail on island. That's a lot of people out of work and a lot of tax dollars gone. Next, ask yourselves what industry does government do better than private sector, either financially or efficiently.
And she makes a great
I love
point,
it.
But she makes a great point. And obviously, you know, she's a retailer, so she probably has a better understanding of this than myself. Well, she does have a better understanding of this than myself, and most people. But folks, this is why I say it's not just about you looking at that $100 dress in Bermuda and saying, I'm saving $50. This is huge. Like, the more people out of work, the more stress on your taxes, the more that government may have to support anyway. So we have to think about this. It's much bigger than our wants.
Yeah. It
really is. Nachika Trot says, while some retailers have improved their online presence / website, still a number have not. Well, let's be honest, folks. Like, I've heard this so many different ways. Bermuda is 21 square miles.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, we're driving from John Legend back home, and that's at my job. And I said to my wife, I'm like, oh, Bermuda to go. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, 22 miles left. My point is, I drive the length of Bermuda twice to go to work and the length of Bermuda twice to come home from work. I think Bermudians are a bit exaggerating a bit when they feel like every business needs an online presence. Is it beneficial? Yes, but some small businesses don't necessarily need one overnight. No,
not overnight.
But folks, honestly, Bermuda's this big. If at the end of the day, I have a Target right down the street from my house, I don't need to go to Target online unless they don't have what I'm looking for. So my point is, I think and again, I'm just speaking as a person who's lived in a space where I can just go to somewhere and get it. No, Amazon doesn't have any stores. So if I needed something from Amazon, then okay, yeah, I'm going to go online. But I'm not sure that Bermudian retailers necessarily, again, this is not popular opinion, but I'm speaking from my experience here. And yes, I'm not quite sure that they necessarily need to invest the way people invest in a place like the US. And unless people live in a small town in the US where there's no big department stores, I'm pretty sure a lot of people just go to their neighborhood department store.
I don't agree. And I say this because so many Bermudian businesses are not modernized. If the pandemic taught us anything last year, it's that we could have another massive outbreak like we just had, and the government could decide we're shutting retail for a month. We're shutting XYZ for a month. And if you want to make money during that time, you've got to modernize. There are a lot of places that still don't have websites. There are a lot of places that post things on Instagram, and I'll be like, okay, I like this. Oh, message us for the cost. Put the cost on the post. If you're not going to have a website and you post a dress or shoes or jewelry, tell me right away. Make it easy for me to spend my money with you. Tell me right away how much it costs. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you something then. So there's very few hardware stores in Bermuda, like in terms of, you got that one out St. John's Road and the one down, I believe, Dundonald next to MSA. Do they really need to go online for people to know that they're going to spend their money with them? That's my point.
So my whole thing is that when it's limited and you cannot enter retail, you have to purchase things online, and your infrastructure is not, like, your online infrastructure is not it. Like, I remember earlier this year, I was trying to buy a patio set from one of these retailers, and go on our website. One of them, I had to create an account in order to see what was available. So basically, you don't want my money. That's what you're telling me. You don't want my money. And then the second one, it was so difficult to navigate. I couldn't search properly. Like, I'm typing patio furniture, outdoor dining, nothing's coming up. But then I happen upon a different category, and there it is. And it's just, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you have to modernize. If you don't have a website, fine, do something else, but make it easy for me to give you my money, because I want to give you my money. I don't want to have to order on Wayfair.
Hey, retailers, you hear her now. She said, make it easy for her to give you her money.
But that's in every area. Just like, I want to buy things. Make it easy. Don't make it difficult, because the minute you make it difficult for me to spend with you, I'm done.
Chaos, let's go back to the comments, because apparently a lot of people have a lot to say. Michelle White through Temer.
First, ministers need to stay in their lane. Maybe the chamber can do an assessment of duplicated products and encourage variety by partnering with government to offer concessions. A win-win. Consumers can get most out of what they want, and business can flourish, or at least better their sales. That's interesting. Yeah. For me, it's definitely more apparel rebuying online. However, like Kales, I will buy books from the Griot and ask if they are bringing in more. Currently, the biggest thing we order online are jobs. Wow. Outsourcing is real, and we need to stop pretending that's not a goods and service. Effectively, the government is about to eradicate a ton of retail jobs for better dress selections for we fickle women who want unique dresses. See, they're putting it on us. It's not us. Jeez.
You and Tamara are so one person. Anyway, Rick Olson states, consider if an item is shoplifted, government is still paid for by the merchant, pay duty after the sale. Terry K says, unfortunately, many of us don't realize the connection between their individual economics on the macro larger scale. Tomorrow's convo with Mr. Simmons gonna be lit for you older folks. That means it's gonna be real good.
Yes.
I think I got that right.
You got it. You're
I'm
not
going
that old.
now. I'm still trying to hang with you folks.
You're still a millennial.
Yeah. I'm still a millennial. The Chica Trot says, yes, that is true, Jamal. However, with the increase in parking enforcement, officers do not give me
Listen, parking lots, sis. Come on.
You know, one of the things that I learned when I was in undergrad and I was doing a business course and we had to create a business plan. And I learned then how important ensuring that you have parking was to a business. And it makes a huge difference, especially if you're in a big city where, like New York City, if you want a brand store on front there, folks, parking is an issue.
It's a huge issue. And that's why I, for one reason, among a lot of others, choose People's Pharmacy over and over again because the convenience.
I was going to say People's Pharmacy. I mean, that parking lot's huge for, I mean, it wasn't always that large, but
no, it wasn't.
Yeah. But again, they have parking. And
a lot of parking.
Don't get caught parking there if you ain't shopping there. I'll leave it at that.
Hello.
Russell Famous says, it's not always easy for some entrepreneurs to maintain the infrastructure for an online presence and run their businesses. And that's something I want folks to consider, because we may think these businesses are large, but at the end of the day, they're still Bermudian businesses, and Bermudian businesses take a lot more to run, to get someone to maintain the website and so on. Philip Trott through Nicole Walker Kills.
The point of online presence isn't just to order products. It also gets your name out. Everybody relies on Instagram and Facebook, and we see what happened there. Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo. We pay 6,500 civil servants, and that is okay. Exactly.
He's got the popcorn.
Retailers need to provide a better variety. In a country of this size, I don't need to go to 3 different shops and see the same options. Yeah. I mean, I'm very I only shop in probably 3 different stores on a regular basis. 3 stores. That's it. In terms of clothing, I will say clothing.
Well, when I was working at Bermuda Tourism and I would go back to Bermuda, you know what store I would always ensure I went into, because I was always happy to see they were still around?
Wow.
Shannon's. I don't know if it's still around, but Shannon's
I think
right
so.
there in Windsor Place. I would always go there. Now, I didn't know the people who owned it or anything, but I just, the gentleman was always kind, right? And I would ensure that I always got something there, always even went there to see if I can get a shirt. I may not have needed anything, but it was for me supporting the local economy, even though I was living in New York or New Jersey, where I can go to, what's that mall everybody goes to in New Jersey, and no taxes and all that stuff.
I don't go to New Jersey.
It was something, I can't remember. Mishka Fubler Kills.
I think I'd look for more here of retail websites tied into the inventory systems. I don't want to go in and see if they have it in stock. I don't want to call. I feel you. I feel you.
Michelle White says, with the loss of the real live 411 telephone operator, how long ago was that? Sometimes it's hard reaching a business if they are not online with at least having their contact details and map. Those operators can let us know the name of a store next to X Store X. I miss those ladies. Sean Smith and Nicole Walker.
Business owners need to provide value, not just a product or service. As a business owner, I sell the value of my services. Anybody can provide the same service, but not my value. That's your magic. Absolutely. It annoys me that they will say call or inbox for the price for items posted on social media. Nah, never mind. This This infuriates me. Like, honestly,
I think it's all about, it goes back to what you said, and Cherie Deal actually says it. Michaela hit the nail on the head. Make it easy for me to spend my money. The harder it is for me to check out, the easier it is for me to move on and forget about it. This is it.
And that's the thing. I mean, I understand websites are expensive and you've got to hire someone to maintain it. I understand that. And there are a lot of companies who have partnered with the delivery apps. And that's the way of modernizing, because you can see the product on there and you can get it delivered to you. I'm not mad at that either, but have something where I can spend my money. Cause I'm a person who shops on an as needed basis. And so
unless it's a hurricane, folks, go ahead.
No, but really, like, I shop on an ad needed basis. You know, I go, okay, I have a Christmas party coming up. Let me see what I can find. Or, oh, I need some shoes for this. You know, I don't just shop to shop, and I do it with intention.
Let's wrap it up with the comments, Kills. We have Terry K. She says, agreed, Mel, the need for a full online presence is one thing. Having a landing page on your website will be sufficient with their contact info. And then Philip Trott says, also, in the times we're in now, a lot of people don't even want to go outside and walk around a store. Just like Michaela said, make it easy for me to give my money. So, folks, let me ask Michaela, can we agree that the number one solution to Bermuda's retail woes on the surface, is for local companies to make it easier for the consumer? Can we agree that's...
Yes.
Okay. Can we agree that number two is for the government to make it easier for the retailers?
Yes.
Okay. So we're in agreement that we found two solutions this morning to Bermuda's retail woes.
And number three is be more intentional about shopping for things locally. Think about, okay, can I buy this in Bermuda at a good price instead of, let me just order online?
Indeed. Be intentional about it. Shayna Smith and Alan Lugo, Kills.
Is there any plan to address the customs clearance process? Is it a resource issue? Is it a processing issue? That seems to be a huge source of angst for many retailers. Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to call any businesses, but I know local customs has not made retailers happy recently.
What about the customer service? Now that's another topic. Sales reps that go to work to get out of the house or need quiet time to view and access their media devices, no customer service at all. Listen, I had poor customer service on Saturday at one place. Poor.
Oh, really? You didn't tell me about this, kid.
Okay, I understand that some places are still doing like a capacity thing, like counting the amount of people. I get to the door of this one place, and instead of saying, good afternoon, we're at capacity, you just need to step to the side for a moment until someone leaves, she looked at me, you got to stand over there and wait. I'm sorry? What? I'm like, what? It was just rude, no explanation. All of us are just standing there like, okay. Yeah. It's just simple, be courteous. That's it. If you're in customer service and can't be courteous, you shouldn't be in it.
Yeah. I get it. I'm not made for customer service.
Me neither.
I can do business to business, but I don't do consumers' attitudes and all that stuff. Nikki Michelle says running and creating a business doesn't come with training of how to create a fulsome customer experience and a profitable business. Let's start there. And I want to wrap it up with that. I think there are different levels of retail.
Yeah.
But one of the greatest lessons I've learned in life is just because you like to do something or you're good at it doesn't mean you should own a business that reflects it.
Yep.
We folks, I believe that we have to change our mindset as it pertains to local businesses and business in Bermuda, period. Unless we do, we're all in jeopardy. Retail just doesn't impact those who own the businesses or those who work in that space. I've said on this show, and it's not to trigger anything, but I've said it for ages. I believe local retailers are doing a community service right now by having cashiers. That's not to say they should all just get rid of the cashiers and replace them with technology. What I'm saying is that they are doing a service that is costing them money. The next thing I will say is it's so easy to say, well, government is the issue, when sometimes the issue is us, just as much as the government. We play a role in this. And unless we understand the importance of the role that we play and change our mindset and adapt, then our economy is going to continue to suffer in the manner and the way that it's going. Tomorrow, my hope is that in the most layman of terms for people like me,
and me, I'm just be real.
One thing, so let me share this before we go to break real quickly. Many years ago, I said to Michaela, I said, Kales, you didn't really touch on that finance topic right there. And she says to me, yeah, that's because I don't discuss things I don't know. That was this was like 10, I don't know if remembers that. This was Facebook like 10 years ago, right? And I learned a lesson from that because it was like, we don't have to, if you don't know, you don't know. And I think as Bermudians, as retailers, yes, we are consumers. We spend money, but we have to understand how that money we're spending impacts us beyond that fancy dress that we are buying, or a shirt, or hat, or jewelry, whatever. Kills, let's take a break.
Yes.
Come right back. We have the daily play for you folks. It's a good one. It's a good one. Folks, if you get the answer before Michaela, you know what happens. Please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please share this conversation because these conversations are extremely important for our entire population. Thumbs up, love, like if you appreciated today's conversation, folks. Don't forget, Juggling Jason returns to BCG Radio today, Reggae Mondays, 12 to 3. Looking to get that, continue those Miami vibes. Check them out. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I have my three children, a 27-year-old and a 11-year-old and a 5-year-old. I have to balance it out. I actually even stopped working Monday to Wednesday just so that I can put in time for the products and I put in time for my family. Because for me, my family comes first over anything. I know I have to run my business so that we can eat and everything, but my children come first. I let them even play a role when I'm making my products. Come on, get up. You can come help me mix it. Come help me put the label on it. So when we talk about inspiring your daughter or your children, I make my children get up there and see what it takes to run a business. Come on, Surrey. This brand, Surrey Shea & Co, is named after you. So you need to help me. You're gonna come, you can do this, put the labels on for me. You can do it. Even my little 4-year-old, I had him do it. Mommy, let me help. So I just let them help, and it teaches them the way.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again to BDC. Come by every third Monday of the month. People's Pharmacy, Lindo's, Medical House, One Communications. We appreciate the support that they are giving us. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Michaela, are you ready?
Pressure's on, but yeah.
All right, it's a Who Said It today, folks, and a musician. Quote, critics like to describe and categorize things, and categories often have a way of limiting people, end quote.
Musician. You want to give another hint?
Any answers out there, folks? You know what happens if you guess the answer before Michaela? You get yourself a prize. You win a prize. Here we go. I'll read the quote one more time. Critics like to describe and categorize things, and categories often have a way of limiting people.
My brain keeps saying Kanye West, but I don't think it's right. But I don't know.
Kanye West pretty much, kind of, but not really discovered this artist.
Kanye West discovered John Legend?
You got it! Wrong one. She didn't cuss.
You're just messing up my win.
Yeah, I learned that last night at the John Legend concert. That Kanye
I should have known. Oh, I knew that.
You were gonna get it. Yeah, it wasn't Prince. Nope, not Kanye West. Not Little Nas. Yeah, it was John Legend. He got his Lauryn Hill was his first kind of little something on track 13, and then Kanye was the one that really kind of put him on. So that is today's daily play.
Yes, I bought John Legend's first album, and the first song was the song with Kanye.
Yeah, folks, honestly, that was my first concert in about 3.5 years last night. We didn't like John Legend. I don't look, folks. You ain't never seen me at a concert. I don't need anything. I'm a, you gotta, you should see your boy. I was on one. John Legend bought it last night, folks. It felt good to be back and singing along, look, I'm sorry, Kayla. I'm making you jealous. I'm sorry. But
I'm very jealous because I love John Legend. I have loved John Legend since the first time I heard his music. Was I a freshman in university? I can't remember if I was a freshman or a sophomore, and I was like, "Oh, this is incredible." And then he kind of fell off for me because his wife is just not.
Like what? Okay.
But I love John Legend.
If you want to see footage, go on Nikki Occasions. I believe that's where you might see footage. I'm not quite sure. I don't take footage, folks. Actually, I had some on my WhatsApp status. Kales, what's your thoughts on today's episode?
I thought this was a great episode. I love talking about retail. I love talking about intentionally circulating our money in the community, because we have to remember, when we're supporting Bermudian businesses, we're supporting people who are paying their kids tuition, who are paying for their kids football, paying their mortgage. This isn't a case of we're supporting Jeff Bezos so he can go into space again with his penis-shaped rocket. That's not what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I just feel like we've got to get this right. And I hope that the government can rethink this whole My US thing, because it's not it. It's not it. And I just think Minister Furbert's comments were very damaging. And unfortunately,
I'll say this much. I enjoy conversations like this, and I will say this is why we do this show. The audience, again, it's not about agreeing, it's about understanding. It's about discussing solutions so that we can have a better Bermuda. At the end of the day, regardless of where some of us may be, Bermuda is our home. It's our love. It's where we want to be, whether it's virtually or, actually being there. And so we have to understand the role that we play in making sure that Bermuda is the country that it is. Kale's daily inspiration for us?
Yes. All right. This is a Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
I like that one. I like it, folks. Keep planting those trees. Hey, folks, if you haven't already, make sure you download the BCG radio app. Tune into Juggling Jason today. He is back with Reggae Mondays on bcgradio.com. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube to make sure you don't miss an episode. So if your favorite social media platform goes down like it has last week, you still have access twice apparently, yes, to the big show. All right. So just want to say once again, thank you to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, and the Lindos, along with People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Michaela Ian. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, please do make it a great day. I don't have anything in my cup this morning. I'm so sorry.